Hi there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 52 of our Supersize Your Business Annual Challenge. Today we're talking about getting it done. We say get her done in my part of the country here in the USA, Wisconsin. At least some people say it. I just say take action, get your butt in gear, get your rear in gear. Today's topic is the killer of confidence, and that is perfectionism. Perfectionism is thinking that everything has to align. The stars have to align. Everything has to be perfect. Everything has to be as good as it possibly can be before we actually release it or put it out into the world. And this is a confidence killer, but it's also a business killer. It's so important to have speed to market when it comes to building and growing and supersizing our businesses. The companies that put something out there, I mean, look at the example of all the industries that do this. The auto industry. They get a new vehicle, they put it out every year. They always know there's things wrong with it, and they're going to have to recall and fix things after the fact. But they get it out there and they sell it before it's 100% right. We have to do this in our own businesses as well. We have to realize, and I learned this in the Italian food manufacturing business, that we have our standards, we have the way we do things, but if we want to test and iterate new things like new flavors or new varieties, which I did often because I loved R&D and testing different things, we have to get it out there and let people give us feedback so we know if it's good enough or right. One of my favorite things to do, and I just heard a course creator tell me this is not the right way to do it yesterday, is I like to create things with the people that I'm creating them for. So, for example, if I'm creating a new course in my school community, instead of thinking I have to have it all out there and put it out, and I was doing this and I've done this in the past, not perfectionism, because I'm definitely not perfect and have never even tried to be perfect. I think perfectionism is just fear wrapped up in high standards. It's like me telling myself that everything has to be perfect because I have these high standards, but really we're just afraid to put it out there because of how people might react or how they respond. But we never make progress if we don't get the feedback that we need to know if what we're producing is something people even want. That's why I like to do prototyping. It's why I love R&D. Hey, we're just going to test this out and see how it works. If people like it, great. Maybe it'll go to production. If they don't, it's definitely not going to go to production until we tweak and make some changes and test it again. I think that's why I love manufacturing. I kind of have a engineer, manufacturing, scientist brain, and I love to test and tweak things and continually improve them. It's one of my core values. So you'll always see me changing and testing and tweaking everything that I do. So it's better in my mind to get something out there that is just the beginning or the draft or the prototype and then get more information on how it's affecting people than to try to keep iterating. And I've done this. When I first came to the online world, I created an entire program for stress relief. Why? Because I'd had a lot of stress in my life. And it was just coming off a sudden cardiac arrest. And I had to do a whole bunch of things to change my life and change the way I looked at life in order to still be here talking to you today. And so I created this whole stress reliever course and website and things. And then I thought, oh, this is exactly what people need and want. But I didn't ask them. I asked a few people, but I definitely didn't ask enough people. So I had a whole lot of stuff in there that nobody wanted. And I had some things in there that were awesome, but people never found them because the people never came, right? It's like doing a webinar to an empty room. Then they're done that dozens of times, right? But it's always practice. And we always get better by doing it. Every experience we have is for us, whether it feels that way or not at the time. So I think it's better to put something out there. And this was hard for me in school. I was an overachiever in high school. I think that's a pretty good definition. And I would have to, if we were supposed to have 3 sources for a project or a paper or a debate, I would go and get at least a dozen, maybe 24, maybe 24, just so I had as much information as I could possibly get. Hill Reference Library in St. Paul, Minnesota was like one of my favorite places in high school. So I tended to do that. But, you know, I probably only needed 3 to 5 to get an A on the paper. So it was a lot of wasted effort, but I know that going back and looking at it, but it didn't feel like that at the time. It felt like, okay, this is what I have to do. So the whole perfectionism thing, if you have that, if you think things have to be perfect before you put them out there, I challenge you today to just do something, take action towards something that you've been putting off for whatever reason or excuses we use, and put it out there and get some feedback on it. And you might be surprised that people already love it and you've already got enough that piques their interest and they're attracted to it. And you don't have to make and do and spend 5 years in research and development, right? Some things we do, medical testing, medical products, pharmaceuticals, I think they ought to spend 5 years studying the impact of the stuff that they're creating. But other things, not so much. If you're creating a lead magnet, just get that done and up there today. So in the comments below, share one thing that you are going to put out and create this week. I've got two. One, I'm going to launch the tiers for my school platform. I've had them done for about 2 months. Are they perfect? No, but I'm not going to know what people want and don't want in them until I put it out there and see if anybody even is interested in it. And the other thing is I am going to learn how to be an awesome and positive and effective direct message user in order to bring people into my world and into the platform. All right. So if you have any questions about this, just hit me up and ask. There's so much I'm starting to see as AI comes on the scene. There's so much regurgitation of the same information. That's why I almost didn't even want to talk about this today, because everybody's talking about done is better than perfect and progress over perfection. And those phrases are starting to gag me just a little bit, but they're still true, right? It's still true. So they shouldn't bother me. But the fact that they're being overdone when it's a concept that people really should grasp, because it kills our confidence. If we are waiting for perfect, we're not taking action. If we're not taking action, we're not getting feedback. And if we're not getting feedback, we're not getting the results that we want. And that we're not serving people at the highest level either. If we're really just creating in a vacuum and thinking we know everything, what does that tell the people that we're really here to serve? It tells us we think we're better than them and that we know everything. And that's absolutely positively not true, right? All right. If I can help you anyway, ask. Otherwise, go out, make it an awesome day. And I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.